little people, big people, all people. This is another episode of Buffed Up Sports, the only podcast that talks Detroit sports, the WNBA, and boxing. So thank you for clicking on this episode. But first, few ground rules. If you want to go on the Buffed Up Sports website, go to buffedupsports.com. There, you will find the social media platforms that I'm on, and you will find the platforms that Buffed Up Sports is on, such as the podcasting platforms like Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Or if you like the video aspect, you can check out the YouTube channel as well. So go to buffedupsports.com for those things, as well as if you want to send, a little cha-ching, it's ways that you can help me out and financially support the show. So go to buffedupsports.com for that. Again, thank you for clicking on this episode. Please subscribe. So subscribe on YouTube, subscribe on Apple, subscribe on Spotify, subscribe on wherever you listen to the podcast on. Please subscribe. With that being said, again, thanks y'all. Hope you enjoy this one. Let's get on with the show. What up, everybody? Or should I say mustard? If you caught that, you caught that. Yo, I've been listening to that Kendrick album. Y'all know how I am. I'm an old school music fan. But considering such, that album was not bad at all. And I think I appreciated it because of the samples in it. That's, dedicated to those old school music lovers like myself. You are listening to Buffed Up Sports. I don't know what's wrong with me. Y'all, it's been a minute. Real talk, it's been a minute. RJ be working. RJ's a car salesman. RJ also had to, just take care of some things with the fam and all that. So RJ was busy, but RJ's back. I was still watching the games. Don't worry, I was still watching what I needed to watch. Y'all, let's talk some boxing, cause let's get it, figured out here. I'm a big boxing fan. It's no secret. Y'all know I've been watching boxing for as long as I can remember, honestly. But y'all know I'm a big fan of it. But boxing's fell off in the last, couple decades or whatever. But I say all this to say, I watch no matter who's fighting, right? But as we saw, Jake Paul and Mike Tyson brought a crowd to the sport of boxing. Now, this was definitely more of the casuals watching than anything. And as a diehard fan of boxing, I wish this wasn't the fight everybody tuned in for, but it got people talking boxing. So let's talk some boxing. First thing first, everything I said that would happen on that card happened. I was telling people the women's fight between Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano, that's the show stealer. That's going to steal the show. I said it before it even happened. I said this fight is stealing the show. What happened? That fight stole the show. I told y'all I was putting two of the best women boxers in the world. They're going to do their thing. And of course, with 50 million people watching, everybody said that fight was the best fight of the night. I told you so. Next thing I told you so. I said Jake was going to win. People called me crazy. People said I was tripping. People said I didn't know what I was talking about. Everything I said for why I was choosing Jake over Mike is exactly why the result was the way it went. The reasons I said Mike wouldn't win was because, let's look at the facts. Mike Tyson hasn't been a champion in 30 years. Mike Tyson hasn't had a pro fight in 20 years. Mike Tyson's last exhibition was against Roy Jones 4 years ago. And to me, he didn't even look that good then. People back then didn't like the fight, but then people looking back said, oh, Mike looked good in there. No, he didn't. They were just trying to get in their head that Mike had a chance. It wasn't going to happen. Mike has literally had health scares. Mike is also almost 60 years old. He fought somebody almost half his age. And that brings me to my point with Jake. Yes, Jake is not a quote-unquote real boxer, but however, he's gotten a ring with real boxers since he's done this boxing thing. He's even beat some of them. Jake also stays in the ring. And no different than real boxers in these championship bouts, I typically roll with the boxer who's more active because I'm like, that experience is going to carry you once it's, that bell is rung. Therefore, Jake had that advantage. The fight went exactly how I said it would go. I said if Mike doesn't get to him early, it's over. What happened? Mike came in round one, just bulldozing at Mike. I mean, at Jake. He went right at him. But then what happened? Mike was out of gas. Why? Because Mike Tyson is 60 years old. 58 to be exact, but still. So, I told you so. I just wanted to have my I told you so moment. And that's not to take away from Mike Tyson, because the man is still a legend. I mean, real ones know. Like, Mike wasn't in a lose situation. If he won, it's like, whoa, he still got it. If he loses, it's like, all right, the man is old. Jake is the one who's in a lose-lose, quote unquote, because it's like, hey, I either beat up on an old man or I lost to an old man. But if you're Jake Paul, you don't care about that. Jake Paul just had he had the most watched boxing fight in history for the most part. I mean, 60 million people tuned in to the Buffer and Netflix to watch the fight. And so now everybody's calling out Jake Paul. Rightfully so, because look at the facts here. Jake Paul brought a crowd. Yes, Mike Tyson had his crowd, but Jake has his own audience as well. So now all the fighters wants to fight Jake Paul. And Jake Paul, I give it to him. He's very strategic about who he fights. He knows. I mean, Arthur Better Beef called him out. He knows he's not fighting Better Beef. He knows he's not fighting Daniel Dubois, who is the current heavyweight champion. Like, he's not fighting those guys. He don't even want to step in the ring with a 40-year-old Andre Ward, I don't think. Because Andre Ward said he would fight him. Ain't happening. I bet you Jake won't step. Jake want to fight retired boxers. Look, don't challenge Floyd, because Floyd's too little. It's not. Let's be real. And Floyd did his thing against Logan. But let's be real. Andre Ward, I dare you, Jake ain't going to challenge him. And Andre Ward's been retired for almost 10 years. And I still don't think he would challenge him. Let's look at the facts here. But also, I think some fighters, I'm glad they stepping up to Jake, because it's no different than how Larry Holmes, when he whooped up on Muhammad Ali back in the day. Ali was out of his prime. It wasn't no secret. And what did Mike Tyson do years later? He beat the brakes off Larry Holmes, knocked him out. So some fighters like, hey, you did our old dog like that. We got to come back. So I respect it. So yeah, everybody want to fight Jake Paul, rightfully so. WNBA, can I be a coach? Because so many teams have got a new coach. I'm like, where do I sign up to be a coach? But, you know, so many new coaches in the league. I want to be a coach. Another thing with the WNBA, we getting closer to the expansion draft on December 6th. Ooh, that's right here almost. So yeah, the expansion draft. I can't wait to see, you know, who's going to new teams and all that as we get the Golden State Valkyries in the league. And then the Dallas Wings, they got the #1 pick for the upcoming draft. They're getting Paige Milkins. So Paige with Enrique Ogumbawale. Oh, wait. The Wings are going to be straight. The Wings are going to be straight. You got Enrique. You got Paige. You got Satu. I like what the Wings are going to look like in 2025. That's the team who went from the semis, I believe it was, to, you know, not making the playoffs, being the worst team in the league for the most part. So I'm curious to see what the Wings are going to do. Now, let's talk about my NHL Wings, the Detroit Red Wings. Not the Dallas Wings of the WNBA, but the Detroit Red Wings of the NHL. Yeah. What is up with the Red Wings? I mean, they are not. I know last year they started off slow, right? But I thought this year, I'm like, all right, they ain't going to do that whole we starting slow thing. Because they've done it like the last 2 years in a row. Like, they start off slow, then boom, they rolling. I didn't want to see that this year. And this year, it looks like they doing it again. I'm undefeated at Red Wings games, so I asked Red Wings, if you want to give a tickets to a fan who's good luck, that fan should be me. Granted, I'm only 1-0, but undefeated is undefeated. So if y'all need me at a game, I will gladly come, because we need some help right now. MLB Awards. Baseball announced their awards this past week. Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge winning MVP in their respective leagues. Ohtani in the National League. And then you got Judge in the American League. AJ Hinch, the Tigers, manager, he did not win Manager of the Year. I thought he should, just based off the fact the man was pulling bullpen chaos through that late surge of the season into the playoffs. He got the Tigers in the playoffs when the team had dang near a 0% chance to get in as of early August, but they managed to get in. So you got to give the manager some credit for that, but I guess they figure it's a 162 game season, not a 2-month season. I don't know what the excuse was. Personally though, for a manager, for a team to turn things around like that, you should get some type of credit. But then Tarik Skubal winning Cy Young, I mean, unanimous, right? There was no doubt about that one. We all knew he was going to be the one to win. But what scares me is we have our ace. We have our Cy Young winner. You know, the Tigers franchise is used to having Cy Young winners. We had Scherzer win. We had Verlander win. I mean, doggone, we had Scherzer, Price, David Price, and Justin Verlander all in the same rotation at one point. Still didn't win a World Series ring, which bothers me to this day. But the Tigers don't want to pay the man. Like, that's the rumor right now. They don't want to pay the. Why would you not want to pay the man? Pay the man. So that's that.
Hey, it's your girl Caressa the Glow Shields, and I'm here with Buffed Up Sports.
I'll tell y'all what. Can we talk about the Pistons for a second? In the season. In the season. All right, let's break it down. The Pistons are definitely a better team than what they were last year, right? There's still struggles there, but I still say in the season. Why? Because if you look, I mean, depending on what night you look, because the East is not the greatest and things are so tight in that conference right now. But some nights the Pistons, if the season were to end, are a play-in team. Some nights they're a playoffs team. So I say in the season. Yeah, when I say in the season, y'all probably thought I meant something bad because that's typically what it's been these last few years. But no, I want the season to go ahead in right now. Let my Pistons be a play-in team. So that I could have got. Look, I got the Tigers in the playoffs. The Lions was in the playoffs. The Red Wings was a game away from the playoffs. I'll take the Pistons, in the play-in. I'll gladly take it. So, what's going on with the Pistons, though? RJ, what do the Pistons need to close out these games and stop and the back and forth and just be consistent with the winning? Well, the first thing I said was they got to close out games. There's like 2-3 games the whole season where I'm like, that's a legit loss, and we deserve that loss. The rest of them, it's just that fourth quarter, man. Either we come back and blow it in the end, or we just blow it in the fourth. But bottom line, like, we just can't close out games. We can't do it. And that was a problem last year. That's been a problem for the last 4 or 5 years, ever since, the rebuild truly started. They can't finish games. They will have a lead the whole way, or they will be in a tight game. And just bottom line is they ain't got people that could go out there and make mistake-free basketball for those last 5 minutes, because that seemed to be the case every night. And it's getting sickening because you get these players who go off and, like Tyler Hero, that Heat game, hitting 9 points straight in like a minute? Come on, man. We don't need that kind of stuff. But what I really think we need is another ball handler. As much as I love Cade Cunningham, as great as Cade Cunningham has been for us, he's a hooper, no doubt about it. He can't be the only ball handler because he's pretty much our only ball handler right now. Therefore, Cade Cunningham commits a lot of turnovers. Now, why does Cade Cunningham commit a lot of turnovers? It's honestly not the hardest thing to grasp. Yes, he makes some mistakes. Let's just call it as it is. He makes some mistakes. However, let's also look at the facts here, y'all. If you go on your NBA stats right now and look up who leads the league in turnovers, those first 10, 20 players are all all-star caliber players. You know why they have the most turnovers? Because they are the best player on their team. Therefore, they have the ball in their hands the most. Cade Cunningham is no different. He's the best player on the team. He has the ball in his hands the most out of all the other guys on the roster. But he doesn't have another ball handler to share that offensive point guard status with. So by him being such a young player, because let's also look at the facts here. This is really year 3 for Cade? Year 4? Year 3, because year 1, his rookie year. Year 2, he misses the whole season, essentially. Year 3, he gets plagued by Monty Williams' play style. So you could really argue this is year 2 for Cade if you want to go that far, but it's essentially year 3. So we got to keep that in mind. He's young. He's my age. So he doesn't have it all figured out, and we shouldn't expect him to. If people are like, oh, he's been around long enough. He's the main guy on the team hooping. The next thing the Pistons need, in my opinion, we need another ball handler, man. Or not, I already just said that. We need another big. Why? Because Isaiah Stewart loved the hustle, but A, he's too small, and 2, Stu, he's my guy, but he does some dumb techs, some dumb fouls, and he puts himself in bad positions many nights of the season that I just typically don't care. You can't pull a guy down when he's in the air like he did Giannis. You can't push guys and like Stu. Don't do that, because Stu, as much as people complain about him, he's needed. He's the enforcer that we need on the team. But when he misses games and gets ejected and foul trouble over stupid stuff, you see it hurts, because that takes away our perimeter force and our perimeter, or not perimeter, interior force, our rebounds. And that goes into my next point with Jalen Duren. As young as he is, as exciting as he is, as athletic as Jalen Duren is, Jalen Duren does not play good defense in the paint. And that's just what it is. It's facts. We've seen it time after time. This is year 3 for Jalen Duren. His defense in the paint is not the greatest by any means. So we need another big. So if we can get another guard, I'm not even saying we need another, starting guard, anything, just a solid, it could be a solid backup, just somebody who knows how to handle and control the ball without making too many turnovers. If we can get that for Cade, cool. If we get another defender, a big in the paint next to Duren and Stewart, cool. But that one, I think we're going to need more of a starting caliber one, because Stu is just not, I don't think he's starting caliber. Real talk. For those of you who did not know, I am a car salesman at Gene Butman Ford, located on Washington Avenue. I sell new cars. I sell used cars. So if you need a ride, look out for your guy. Look at that rhymes and bars. But anyways, all seriousness, you can reach me at email, which is rjhunt@butmanford.com, or you could call me at 734-544-2870. That is me. Touch down on your new car and drive like a superstar. Yeah, y'all. So if y'all looking for a ride, feel free to reach out to me. I'm willing to help out. I know it's that holiday season, so if you're trying to get that new Christmas gift for somebody, hey, reach out to your guy. I gave y'all my info, so don't be afraid to do so. And speaking of, I'm about to talk some Lions in a minute, but we still got a Lions truck at the dealership right now. And I believe we got another one coming in, so stay tuned. But yes, we got a Lions truck. It's a silver one. In fact, we got 2 silver ones. So if you want that new Lions truck, hey, I'll tell y'all what. Grab them before we go to the bowl. Because the Lions, we going to the bowl, baby. I promise we going. On St. John, we going. Like, we going to the bowl. So check me out. The Lions are the best team in football. I just posted something the other day. It was me when I was probably like 8, 9 years old. I got a Calvin Johnson jersey on. First Lions jersey I ever owned, by the way. It's the black one, of course. And I posted, I said, Lil RJ, you didn't know this then, but years from now, buddy, you're going to be working for the best team in football. That Lil RJ would have never imagined that the best team in football would be the Lions, but he would never imagine that little joker right there, that little RJ, he'd be working for the Lions. Yes! Oh man, I'm working for the best team in football. Oh look, y'all got too excited. I knocked my mic down. But y'all hear me out. So, let's talk some Lions for a second. We got my boys, the Darius Smith, coming in like Rasheed Wallace. I really think that trade won us the Super Bowl. I really do. And I peeped what he did with that Rasheed Wallace. He already looked like him. And then he wears the jersey because people are comparison. They're making the comparisons between the two. They know what they're doing. So it's just, we got that going for us. We've already clinched a winning season. We already had the 9 games won to clinch that winning season, and we got more games to win. The only game the rest of the way that I'm like, we gonna see what happens is the Buffalo Bills. That game right there. Okay, the Bears Thanksgiving is a trap game, but the Buffalo Bills is the one I'm like, all right, that's gonna be a fight. But the rest of them, I feel so confident in, y'all. I really do. I'm like at the point, I'm like, these jokers might not lose another game the rest of the season. That's legit. That's legit. Like, I really think, like, yo, there's a chance we could go win out the rest of the way. And it wouldn't shock me. That's how much they're rolling. But, like, the schedule the rest of the way, they knocked out a good chunk of, like, those playoff teams early on. So it's like, yo, I think we got it from here. We got Jared Goff, who his MVP run is over, I think, now because of that Houston game. And hopefully he got all his picks out of the way that game. And it's no disrespect to JG. Everybody said it. Everybody knew it. That Houston game was a typical Goff got to just, he had to have his one goof game, as somebody said. And that's okay. Everybody has those games. That game just happened to be 5 picks of them. And we still won. So if you're a quarterback throwing 5 picks, 5 interceptions, and your team still comes away with a win on the road against a team who will probably most likely make the playoffs, you know you got a team going good for you. And that's the thing. Again, I think Goff got rid of all his interceptions that game because before that game, he was pretty clean with the ball. So look at the only game you lost this year was the game that Goff threw 2 picks, and that was against the Bucks. He threw it on the first drive, and he threw one late in the game. Both you just did not need. But hey, that's why we lost that game. And in the rest of the way, when he plays, you know, top of his game, he's rolling. Again, the guy was an MVP contender before the game. And granted, like I said, I think his MVP chances are over, but he's still got it going on. And so I just say all this to say the Lions are going to be fine. We got my boy Hutch. He's already walking in the pool. No boot, no nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, Alex Anzalone, yeah, he broke his forearm, but he's going to be back before the playoffs. We're good, y'all. We really are good. And, you know, the Lions, before we go into this we about to endure this 3-game homestand. Thanksgiving versus the Bears. Thursday Night Football versus the Packers. December 15th versus the Buffalo Bills, unless it gets flexed. I'm just so happy because I'm going to my first Thanksgiving game. Yeah. It's been a lifelong dream of mine to go to a Lions Thanksgiving game. Like I said, I got to do a Lions Thanksgiving game and a Pistons Christmas Day game, assuming one comes in the next few years. But those are 2 dreams of mine, and I'm knocking one off the bucket list. So I can't wait. Personally, Shabuzi, who I had to look up, but he's performing at halftime. I had to look. I do know the little song he got. Why do we minimize everything talking about little song? This song is the #1 song in the country, apparently. But hey, but nah, you got Shabuzi and you know, the Lions Thanksgiving. I'm excited. I've never been to a Thanksgiving game. So I'm looking forward to it. Again, something knocking off the bucket list. So y'all, that being said, this is an episode of Buffed Up Sports. It's been a long time, y'all. So I had some time today. I finally wanted to get something out there. Y'all have a safe and blessed holiday season. And you know, let's keep rooting these Detroit sports on. Let's keep showing the women of the WNBA our love, and let's keep watching some boxing. And before you go, that's what Whitney Houston said. I want to come back to WNBA for a second. The All-Star games in Indiana next year. I gotta find my way to Indy. I don't know how I'm gonna make that happen, but I gotta make it happen. I made my way to Phoenix last year, and I said I gotta do this again. And the fact that Indiana is even closer, Phoenix was a 4-hour flight, Indiana is a 4-hour drive. I gotta make my way to Indy. I just want to close on that note because the Lions are playing the Indianapolis Colts this Sunday. So there you go. But like I said, y'all, if I don't catch y'all before I catch y'all, y'all have a great, blessed holiday season. And until next time, y'all, peace. Thank you all for listening to today's episode. I hope you come back for more episodes. Remember to please subscribe on whatever platform you are watching or listening to Buffed Up Sports on. If you can, comment, leave a rating, leave a review, because I love to hear all the feedback. I mean, feedback is appreciated. So the comments, the reviews, the ratings are appreciated. Also, remember to send it to a friend, send it to 2 friends, send it to 3 friends if you love today's episode, all right? And even if you didn't, still send it to them to tell them how bad it is. I don't care what you do. Just send it to some folks, please. But remember to go to buffedupsports.com. That is the official Buffed Up Sports website. There you will have the social media links that I'm on. You will also find the platforms that the podcast is available on. And you will find the ways to, support the channel on with the cha-ching ching, if you know what I'm saying. So, remember these words. Spread love. Keep your chest out. Hold your head up. Show off them pretty teeth. And don't y'all worry about a thing. Until next time, y'all be good out there. And God bless you all. Peace.